This video is for the women. I'm getting on my soapbox about romantic relationships. Have you heard men say, women don't go for nice guys? Or, I'm a nice guy and all the women want bad boys. I even heard women say, I like a man who is a little bit of a jerk. I've also heard, he's my friend. I don't want to ruin it by getting romantic. It is really true that we do that. And I believe that is the reason we have a tendency to pick relationships that are doomed to fail. We are self-sabotaging when it comes to romance, and we friend zone our ideal partners. I can speak for myself in my early inability to pick a functional romantic interest. I was guilty of being attracted to someone who was cute, or someone who was extremely charming. I would give away my heart before really getting to know them. I brushed off nice guys because they didn't do it for me. And the times that I was happy not being in a relationship, I let charm break the gate down. That charming persona should scare the shit out of you, by the way. Psychopaths are extremely charming. When someone is instantly likable, I have learned to observe rather than judge. That moment when I am being charmed by an individual, I remind myself that I don't really know them and ask myself, what are they like when they are relaxed at home or under pressure? Time reveals the answer. We could take a page from the narcissist playbook. Narcissists are amazing at picking partners. They are very calculating when it comes to relationships. They will often pick empathic, successful, and giving people that can serve them in some way. These relationships would work out for them in the long term if the agenda wasn't to suck them dry, beat them down, and discard them. The difference for us is that we are going in with the intention of giving rather than taking. I speak for myself when I say that I have jumped into relationships too quickly, and then before I realized the mistake, I was emotionally invested in it more than I wanted to be. If I had slowed down and had become friends before we became lovers, I might have avoided a lot of pain and wasted time. I think one of the biggest mistakes that women make is friend-zoning men that connect with us on an emotional level. These are exactly the people we should be getting romantic with. Why wouldn't you want a lifetime with your best friend? That's the ideal partner. You already care about and love each other. You would just be taking it to the next level. I can hear the argument now, but I just don't think about him that way. Let me tell you from experience that infatuation fades, and when it does, there better be something in its place. Real, true, deep love comes from both partners who are friends. I really believe that romantic love can and should be spawned from friendship. And if you were to stay just friends and get into a serious relationship with someone else, you can be damn well sure that your friendship would not be supported by your new partner. And I wouldn't blame them. The other concern is the possibility of ruining the relationship with your friend. Seriously, I doubt that is going to happen. Even if it doesn't work out, you'll still be friends, and you'll probably laugh about that intimate encounter that just didn't take. Real friendships can handle it. I took a page from the narcissist playbook and decided that my next partner was going to be nice. I was going to break my cycle of picking losers. I started chatting with a man from a different department at the coffee machine at work. I had a subject of conversation to open up with. He had won a barbecue at the last company picnic, and I asked him how he was enjoying it. We talked frequently, always at the coffee machine. We shared our stories, and his wasn't much different from mine. I remember thinking, what a nice man. I hope someday he finds someone who treats him how he deserves to be treated. Then I thought, why not me? We were married a year later, and neither one of us has been sorry. We are best friends, we never fight, and we are still in love many years later. There's something really sexy about someone who really cares about you and how you feel. I found something weird in me revealed by this relationship. The nicer he was to me, the more disgusted I became with my relationship with the narcissist and realized how screwed up it really was. I'm still angry about how things unfolded with that, but if they hadn't, I wouldn't be with the love of my life. There was a time before we got married, I asked myself, do I even want a relationship? But he was a good man, and I didn't want him to end up with someone else while I was getting my shit together, and I haven't been sorry. This is my last one. He has ruined me for all other men. Anyone after would just be a disappointment, and it would just be unfair to them. What if we were to stop judging people by their looks and charm, and instead start connecting with people that we can have a good conversation with that's not all about us? What if we were to stop focusing on romance and just start being friends? What if we started picking partners with our brains instead of, There are a lot of nice, interesting, and loving men out there that are waiting for someone who they can shower with love and attention, who are disgusted by how many women whose expectations were ruined by narcissists. Why not be the one who accepts their loves and treats them the way they should be treated? Stop friend-zoning that guy who wants nothing more than to be good to you. Thanks for watching, and I hope you got some value from this video. Please hit that like button, and I hope that you subscribe. Have a great day.